Well, hello and happy gaming, everyone. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and before we get too far started, first of all, I'm going to change up my charm loadout. I think it's time to take off Grub Song, and we'll temporarily put on Long Nail, make combat a little bit easier on myself. Also, if you can't hear by the tone of my voice, I am getting a little ill. So, yeah, just a little issue on my end of things, so oops. That was poor judgment on my behalf. It's not like I didn't know what I was doing there. It's just, for some reason, the timing of my jump command was off. So, oopsie. Yeah, you deserve that. Alright, so now our next goal is going to be the Ancient Basin. So, forgive me if I sound, awful, or, just the idea that ugh. I was hoping I wouldn't have to face up to the idea that I may be getting ill. I don't like having to deal with that. Alright, so what am I doing? Okay, maybe it's best not to ask what am I doing. It's better to ask where am I going. Owie. You know what? Let's just do this. There, from here I have a much better idea of where I'm going. There we go. That's much better. Here, Long Nail doesn't exactly extend my reach by a ton, but it does it by enough so that I'm perfectly capable of handling myself a little bit better in combat than I used to be able to. So now what we've got going on is sort of like an interesting hybrid of nail and sorcery build. That, I am in no way against that. There we go, now we're back to familiar ground. Rest up here. Oh, by the way, that pass you hold, is it not for that ghastly machine, the tram? I hope you're not thinking of riding on that grotesque contraption. The thought of a mere machine... the thought a mere machine could attempt what we stags do. Foolish. Very foolish. I just wanted to share that little bit of dialogue with you. Again, world building. That is something that Team Cherry does very well with Hollow Knight. Alright, so now we can head down into this lower area. That we tried to go to before, but couldn't do anything in. You, allow me passage, or I shall slay your firstborn child. Okay, that's a little dark. Alright, so here, I can't get in here yet, but if you have a certain number of masks, and I believe it's lifeblood masks specifically, then you should be able to get in there. I am missing one component. I have the lifeblood heart. I have Joni's blessing. What I'm going to need is the lifeblood core. After I get those, then I can get in here. Now, to be fair, I could be a little bit off about that, and the lifeblood core might just be in there. So more than likely what I need is either Fragile or Unbreakable Heart, and then the two lifeblood charms. But first, let's come down here. Yes, we're in the Abyss. I accidentally skipped over the reveal of the area, so my bad. And the whole point of this area is to upgrade your Howling Race into the Abyss Shriek. But how does one do that? Well, like this. Consumed the Abyss Shriek. Now that attack, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the highest DPS attacks in the game. If not the highest. Yeah, if not the absolute highest damage attack in the game. Hey, you want to see something creepy? I believe those enemies are called siblings. Sir, please don't do that while I'm looking at my journal. I thought I told you not to do that. But yeah, they're all over the place down here. Light Seed. I just want to confirm. Yeah, sibling. There you go. So you want a pretty good idea as to what the knight actually is. That goes a pretty long way to explaining it. Yeah, don't get grabbed by the tentacles. We're trying not to give in to Japanese fetish porn here. Alright, so in order to progress, we need to go up here. I made an oops. Ooh, ouchies. Yeah, the other thing to be careful of is that these enemies do 2 masks worth of damage, and you're not getting any soul off of them, so you need to be very careful. It's also not that difficult to get the finished journal entry for them. Alright, you can restore some soul here, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the lighthouse. The lighthouse will essentially allow us to pass through here more or less unscathed, because now the sorry, the light is fending off the siblings, so to speak. So now we can come over here. There actually is something hidden here. No reason not to get Shade Cloak. Absorb the Shade Cloak to dash forward cloaked in shadow. Alright, so this basically now makes it so that every now and again our dash is now covered in shade, which prevents us from taking damage from some things. And yes, this little hidden passageway is something I didn't know about until what, my second playthrough? Inspect. An imprint of abyss given form, and that tells you about the void tendrils. Alright, Shade Cloak is an absolute lifesaver against some of the harder bosses, because that is essentially going to be what allows you to more or less ignore some of their attacks. And there's our first arcane egg. And yes, arcane eggs are worth a lot of geo. Alright, so that's everything we can do down here for right now. I can, of course, go back to a nearby bench and see if I can get into the area that's protected by the lifeblood. There is a bench nearby, so there's really no reason not to. And aside from that, I just want to go exploring other areas now, but you know, one step at a time. I'm here now, I may as well just get this over with. Smooth. Oh, hello. Nope, gotta go this way. Might as well recover some health. God, I love the movement in this game. Floop, floop. And look, it's Hornet again. Ghost, I see you face the place of your birth, and now drape yourself in the substance of its shadow. Though our strength is born of similar source, that part of you, that crucial emptiness, I do not share. Funny then that such darkness gives me hope. Within it I see the chance of change. A difficult journey you would face, but a choice it can create. Prolong our world's stasis, or face the heart of its infection. By the way, it faced the void and descends unscathed. Could it unite such vast darkness? It could. It absolutely could. It also could decide that it just wants to go home and have a sandwich, but that's unlikely. Alright, so let's go ahead and change up our charm loadout and give that area a shot. Alright, so let's take off everything else. And we're going to put on Fragile Heart, Lifeblood Heart, and Joni's Blessing. And then we're going to hope that that's enough. I want to get back down there without taking any damage, because I'm pretty sure I need... pretty sure I need every single one of these. So let's take it real careful. The Abyss. I said without taking any damage. Okay, well. Hopefully we have enough here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, beautiful. We can get in here. Alright, so let's make sure that we explore this area properly. Oops. Properly. Not, you know, slamming our face into everything. Well, I mean, unless everything includes walls, because if I slam my face into a wall, then I can then I can jump off of it. By the way, I really like the design of this area. It's simultaneously treacherous and calming. Ugh. Ah. Shortcut. See, that is the thing that if we pick up, ejects us from the area, so let's finish exploring first. Because there is one more thing down here that we can pick up. Another arcane egg. And like I said before, those arcane eggs are worth a lot of geo. Now let's come over here and pick this up. And that's the lifeblood core. Oopsie. The hero was saying I needed the lifeblood core to get to the lifeblood core. Man. No. Stop. Okay. I'll climb back out of here, and then we can make our way back to Deep Nest, where we can now more fully explore that area. Alright, excellent. By the way, so long as I'm thinking about it, it's still pretty fresh on my mind. Anyone else feel a little disappointed that the 5th Fighter's Pass character is not only another Fire Emblem character, but one that ultimately doesn't really look that good to begin with? Now, make no mistake, I have no problem with it being another Fire Emblem character. That's more of something that other people have gripes with. Me personally, not so much. But I know that that's something that other people tend to make a big deal about. It's like, oh my god, another Fire Emblem character. Why do they? It might as well just be Super Smash Bros. Fire Emblem. I don't feel that same way. I think it's actually a really ignorant way of looking at things. Think of it this way: you've got a long-running game series where instead of it just being, you know, I'm generic soldier number 27. They call me Sword Man. Order now for free trench coat and drinking problem. You know, more of a detective thing in that case, but no, every Fire Emblem character, or every Fire Emblem unit is their own unique character. So you're bound to see a lot of representation when you have a series that has literally hundreds of unique characters. And whether you necessarily like those characters or not doesn't detract from the idea that those characters have personalities. They're all actual characters. They're not just generic lance wielder number 77. They are characters. Alright. Back to Deep Nest. Alright, now that I can see where I'm at, we can go take care of a little something. Here we go. Perfect. Yeah, this little section is designed to help you remember that you have the Shade Cloak. Which, I mean, you know, if you got in here in the first place, you know. If you got in here in the first place, one would assume that you got it, but there's the Sharp Shadow charm. Sharp Shadow is one of my favorites. It's a very ninja-like charm, which actually I might replace Longnail with Sharp Shadow. Now, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily like everyone's cup of tea, but I like it. Alright, now that we've gotten that, let's get out of here. Pardon me. Like I said, not exactly feeling in top form today, so I apologize. It'd be easier just to hit the bench. There we go. Alright, and we've already taken care of Nosk, so we can just move forward now. I can see that there's a piece of the map that I'm missing from the fungal waste, but, you know, one step at a time. There's actually something I want to look for. So, just my prediction on the whole matter, but Byleth looks a lot like it's going to be a very high-risk, high-reward character. But some of those moves that require the risk just seem too risky, if you ask me. And there he goes. I completely forgot to change up my charm. I'm dumb. Alright, where am I going? Like the down B, like super axe swing move. Okay, again, I get it. High risk, high reward, but you're talking even more risk than Falcon Punch, even if only by a few frames, for something that's that easy to dodge or counter with just a simple grab? Like, really? Do we really need any more moves like that? And there we go. Yeah, let's not fall for that. And then Byleth's neutral B, the bow, and you've got the recipe for a very interesting technique there. But it's just a shame that once you go for that second charge, then you're locked into the move and committed to it. So again, it's one of those. It's a very high risk, high reward. That seems to be the name of the game with this character. I see the next stalking devout over here. And we're guarding this. Let's come in here, and there will be another charm that we can pick up. Welcome to the Weaver's Den. Once again, there are things that we can do over here. It's not much, but hey, Rancid Egg, why not? Alright, you know what? That's a nice little shortcut. We'll go with it. Dink, dink, oh. It's invincible ball. And there's the Weaver Song charm. Now, if you're prepared to be a little freaked out, look, one of the Weavers is just there watching us now. Yeah, deep nest where dreams go to die, and nightmares flourish. Good job, buddy. You succeeded. Yeah, thanks, that's great. What did I succeed in? You succeeded in doing nothing. Oh man, I can't wait to get my award for that! Oops, I made an oops. Freedom! Ah! Oh, never mind, I can double jump. Hey. Oh, spikes. Yeah, this area is just beyond creepy and scary. And for some people, that's enough to say, like, yeah, it's creepy and scary, but that's what makes it so interesting. It's very much like the people who liked Lavender Town in the original Pokemon. It's like, yeah, there was something very unsettling about it, but hey, you can't deny that it was effective. It created atmosphere. And yes, they're not wrong. It definitely created atmosphere. It's down here. You know what? No, let's not go down there yet. Hey, I hope you like spike pits. And yes, despite the fact that this place is cut off from the kingdom, there's still a stag station. Yeah, web everywhere. Oh, hey, you ever want to feel unsettled? Just listen to these guys. I'll be coming back to this, you know, maybe not this episode, but soon. And now we've got the stag station back to Deep Nest. We just have to, you know, activate it. Also, they destroyed the bench because, you know, sense and reason, who needs that? Ah, little one. Where are we? I have never been to this station. It has a strange air of danger to it. Let me take you somewhere safer, quickly. So, I think we have almost all of the stag stations now. There's just one that we have yet to find. Pardon me. Now, part of the reason why I found the Byleth thing so disappointing is because I had recently heard some information suggesting that none other than my boy Dante was coming to the game. And I don't know if it's just like a rumor or whatnot, but it happened during an interview with the voice actor for the character of V, so I have a hard time thinking it was just something said in jest. V, if you don't know, is one of the main characters from Devil May Cry 5. And yeah, it definitely led me to believe that, hey, Dante's coming to the game, alright. That having been said, we also did get the reveal that there are 6 more characters coming in the second Fighter's Pass. Not 5, 6. Which makes me go, oh my god, Daddy Sakurai, why are you doing this to yourself? You need rest and relaxation too. And that's part of the reason why I don't want to get too up in arms about Byleth, because if nothing else, it's still showing that Sakurai is definitely willing to put in the effort. And my guess is, after checking out the Fire Emblem 3 houses, he said, you know what, this is really interesting, I can do something with this. And hey, he did. Absolutely nothing against that. He managed to put something together. Where am I? I mean, I know I'm in Queen's Gardens, but which part of the Queen's Gardens am I in? trying, hopefully not in vain, to find the stag station in here. Hey, it's Cloth. Ah, tiny warrior. Then you too come to test yourself against the traitorous tribe. A deadly bunch they are that roost within these glades. I'd once have stayed well clear of them, but your actions have shown me the truth of it. We must face down our fears or be defeated by them. If we both make it through, we can swap stories of our adventures. I'd look forward to that. It's time. I'll face that fear. Nola will be proud. Who the hell is Nola? Silly mantis. Alright, so what we're looking for is actually right up there, but we've got to take the long way around. So, let us begin the act of taking the long way around. Battle chamber. Okay, it's not much of a battle chamber, but there you go. Hey, Cornifer's here. There's my man. Have you heard of Howless Queen? Apparently these gardens were once her retreat. Now some vicious types are crawling all over the place and the plants have grown wild. As inhospitable as it is, I've enjoyed my travels here. Care to see my efforts? Why, yes, I would. Thank you, sir. And a bench. So, actually, with the advent of that bench, first things first, let me change this out for Sharp Shadow. Now, before I call it a day, there is a little something that I wanted to discuss about the Sharp Shadow charm. And actually, it turns out I might be wrong about that. But the misconception that I was going to address is that Sharp Shadow lengthens your dash. And it turns out, yes, it does, actually. Oh well. What I was going to say is that it only lengthens your dash if you combine it with Dash Master. But it turns out I might have been wrong about that. Oh well, still keeping Sharp Shadow on because it's still a great way to attack on some damage while avoiding enemy attacks. So, never mind, I actually taught myself something today and I have no problem with that. So, thank you very much for watching. Next episode, we will continue to explore the Queen's Gardens. And hopefully get to that stag station and to our final soul vessel charm. So, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to my channel. We'll talk some more about the whole Smash character reveal thing in a bit. And I hope you have a fantastic day. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.